Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Welcome to another day. Welcome to another day. I hope you are getting the notification this morning. Hope you are getting the notification this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Who is there? Who do we greet this morning? Niyi Olushola is the first person. Nanola Adebayo, Shegun Fatumo, Popola Oluwatosin, Bill Muna Prosper, Bebe Ndum, Rochelle White, Lola Shorunke, Mayo Wapi Precise, Yomi Jegede, Ladi Shorunke is here, Julius Osimen, Adedamola, good morning. Esunk, good morning. Precious, Pat Agbon, good morning. Usheria, hello, Abo, Uriah, Tina Steven, Shina Yomi Fabulous, Gift Okode, Oluwato in Pam Pam, Jet Idowu, Laolu. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, nice to meet you guys this morning. Thank you for coming. It's time for us to go ahead and do our program this morning. And, last night I made an announcement that I'm going to continue where I stopped yesterday morning. I wanted to talk about inventory, how to take the inventory or take an inventory of your time so that you'll be able to take a critical analysis of how you spend your time and the values that you create or the values that you fail to create on a daily basis or hourly basis, actually. But, things are going to change this morning. Because over the weekend, just like, Beata had come here and because she's been following me and she wanted to really experience who is this Pastor Sunday for real. And she came from Europe, okay? Another person who has been part of our family, I say our family because this is a family. It's a family business now. Our TV live streaming on Facebook with Pastor Sunday has become a family thing. It's now a family affair. And we have family members all over the world. And I know that when Beata was here, some of you people were saying, next time I will be the one there. I will be the one there one day. And another person got so hungry, just like Beata, got so fascinated and hungry. And I want him to tell us about his passion and his hunger and what made him to come and see me. I told him, come in November. He has some good friends that have been here before. Those people told him, if you agree to come in November, we'll come with you. He said, no. You know what? No, I want to go see Pastor Sunday right now. He came on Thursday, and when he came, he was, I won't say he was not lucky. I was in solitude. I was locked up. So I couldn't see him for like 2 days. So I only was able to have time with him yesterday. And today he's leaving because he has so many things he's doing there and he has to go back. But he's coming all the way from America. He's coming all the way from Washington, D.C. Hello, Spearman Kina. You are back. Atlanta. I have another. This is 2:30 in the morning. I think it's 2:30 in the morning in your place. You're not sleeping. Well, the guy from DC here, he's not sleeping because he's in our time now. So anyway, cut a long story short. To cut a long story short, I want to introduce you today to one of our family members who's been following us as well on this live show. And he's been following me even before this live show through my books and things. And so he will tell us his story and what he has seen in Ukraine and what you should expect in Ukraine and what this life show has done for him and how his life is, what he's planning to do with his life and how this could be an encouragement and a blessing to each and every one of us. But meanwhile, before we do that, let's just go and share the link. So if you don't mind, go look for your share button and let's go share the link right now, okay? Go look for your share button. Let's share the link. Then we'll be ready to go. All right? Let's go look for the share button and share the link, and then we'll take off from there. So whoever is there, go. If you have not shared the link yet, go look for it. Denise from Houston, Texas. You two are not sleeping, obviously. Well, it's good that you guys in America are not sleeping because you are going to have an American like you here. Even Afolabi, even Lola Shorunke, she's there from California, and Ladi, California. And so if you have shared the link, let me introduce to you then my guest today. And here we go. It's Pastor Obi. Hello, Pastor Obi.
Hello, Pastor Sunday.
How are you today, sir?
I am doing great.
Now, will I hope you don't mind introducing yourself to the people of God that are here with us.
Not at all, not at all. My name is Pastor Obi Marobi from Washington,
D.C. If you could speak louder, that will help us.
Okay, let me bring this voice up a little bit. My name is Pastor Obi Marobi from Washington, D.C. I came to visit Pastor Sunday, and I don't even know where to begin because what I have seen and witnessed has been phenomenal. I had to come quickly.
Yeah, that's the question. Why is it that everybody else is getting ready, get their money together, get their ticket, and be able to come in November, and you said, you know what, I don't mind coming in November, but I'm going to go now.
Yes, I really come quickly because in 2 Corinthians chapter 5:16 it says, "Know no man after the flesh," but really it's saying to know anyone after the spirit, know no man after the flesh, but after the spirit. And I can say that it was a revelation from God, right, concerning you, that made me to say, I have to take this trip. I need to come and see Pastor Sunday. I've heard some testimonies, and then I have started reading the book. And, the last one you wrote on Nigeria and the leadership question. Here is the book. This is the book, Nigeria and the leadership question.
Right.
And if you were to look inside, I read this book, I marked it, and...
Let's see some of your marks.
Oh, you want to see some of my markings of the book? I'm an avid reader. When something interests me, here are some of my marks here. I do not... hesitate to make notes and references.
You are devouring the book, huh?
Yes. And the good thing about this book, and I'm saying that really every Nigerian especially, and every African, should read this book. It's a well-written book in the sense that you carefully started with the history, of Nigeria, and then some history of Africa, because it's always good to know why your problems are, when you first of all go back to history and know where they began. In the African proverbial saying, it says, unless you know where the rain started to beat you on the head, you wouldn't know when that rain would stop beating you.
you know how to hide from that rain. Eh?
Yes. And so this book really chronicles that historical aspect and let us know why we are where we are, especially in Nigeria, And you tackled it so well that I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. And I said, I need to see this man. But I started saying to you that the Bible says, no man after the flesh, but really after the spirit. So the revelation was by the spirit that God was letting me know that, it's like I saw three biblical figures in you, that this is a man for a time. One was that God showed David, look at where you came from. And look at where you are, as a leader of leaders, as somebody that has a passion for God. And then it showed you as a Joseph. I didn't mention this to you, but God showed you as a Joseph, Here you are in Ukraine, and God used you to do what happened. Those who do not know the story, they can read your book, Church Shift, to know what God did with a man all the way from Africa. In humility, God brought you here, and a transformation came. And I personally witnessed the environment. I mean, right now we're in your house, and if you went around, when I walked in, on the other side of the compound, there are people all over the place. And I said, hi, is this pastor's house? Everybody's everywhere. I mean, freely moving around, which is a picture of what the Bible says. What I mean? When the Bible talks about, I believe in Acts chapter 5, he said that the New Testament church, he said in the church, he said no one lacked anything. They had everything in common. There was no lack. No one lacked anything. And I saw a picture of that when I walked in here. And another a thing that I experienced here was that, I think in all the time that I've been here, I think I've only seen 4 black people. And I went down to the countryside, to one of the extensions of your ministry, men's. You
have more black people in this year.
Yeah. And but I still feel that spirit of serenity and love. What true Christianity is really all about. Then I began to understand why God is doing what He's doing in this place. They love you so much, and you pour out your love on the people. So this is a true experience. I was there also one of the nights during the prayer, and I saw the heart of the people. I said, this is what the kingdom of God is supposed to be. No wonder your ministry is called, the embassy of the blessed kingdom of God. This is it for real. I mean, I came, I saw, and I invite others to come and see, as well. And so I got very excited. So God showed you, even as a Joseph, in that sense. And that's the second revelation of who you are in our time. And the third one was that God was showing you as a Nehemiah. And this is the part that is intriguing to me and interests me, because now we are on a mission, and you have made the declaration that a change is going to come in Nigeria. And we're not talking about a change with guns and weapons and all that.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. You are speaking so much in the spirit.
Yes.
And people are getting so blessed. Let me read what Shioma is saying here. Shioma Ugudi Ungwigwe says, this testimony is bringing tears already to my eyes.
Wow.
Because as we are speaking, I just know that Nigeria needs to be delivered. Nigeria must be delivered from religion. And your word is just bringing tears to, and I think what she's trying to say is that when you are saying this, I'm saying Joseph in this man, that is what Nigeria needs at this time. That's why she's crying. She's weeping because she's thinking, Joseph, Pastor Sunday probably not just Joseph, just to Ukraine.
Yes.
And that is when you also now started talking about
Nehemiah.
Okay.
That it's like God is bringing you into that arena of the Nehemiah spirit and the Nehemiah anointing, because there's a work to be done in Nigeria, a rebuilding of the walls. And those who are not familiar with the Nehemiah story and the rebuilding of the nation, they can go to the book of Nehemiah. It's a smaller book in the Old Testament, and read it and see what happened. And this is what is about to happen to Nigeria. Like I said earlier, it's not going to be a revitalization or reformation or whatever it is that we can call it, of guns and weapons and all that. I don't want the political leaders to get afraid, but that's not what it is. This is what God is about to do. Using a man that, if God will use you in a foreign nation to raise that nation, how much more the very country that you come from, your roots. And this is why God is sending you back there. So this is something that we are to welcome, and it's about to happen. That there will be rejoicing in Nigeria because of God. There will be, there's a glorious moment that is coming in Nigeria. See, Nigeria is a country that God has blessed. But because of the foolishness of some, You know, Nigeria has become a sort of a debased nation where God has blessed the people with what the world calls black gold, you know, oil. And instead, in that nation, you still have people that are very impoverished, abject poverty, in a country that has everything, and yet you have people that have nothing. So God has called you for such a time as this. I'm just talking about some of the things that got me so excited, and I said, I need to come and see that man of God. I had to jump in the airplane and said, I had to come and see you, you know. And some people don't know you personally, you know, like I've come to know you these past few days, that Pastor Sunday's laughter, you know, is contagious. You know, here is a man of simplicity. You know, I've met leaders, you know, especially in the ministry, and I don't want to knock down on anybody, but what I'm trying to say here is that the environment around you, the aura around you, is a spirit of excellence and peace and simplicity. There's no complication with you. You know, you know, and I'm not here to praise you, Pastor, if you understand, because you're a very humble man. I don't think you're looking for someone to praise you, but it's to say that I've been able to experience that there's so many reasons why God will choose you for a time like this in our generation to do the kinds of things that you've done. About 35,000, I was told, about 35,000 members of your church in your ministry in this country. The largest, I believe one of the largest, maybe first, second, or third, I'm not sure, you know, evangelical Pentecostal charismatic church in Eastern Europe. In Europe in total. That's phenomenal. You know, so God is doing something, and I said, I have to come and see this man of God. You know, but your simplicity, you know, your simplicity is astounding. You know, I thought when I come, you know, we had to do, oh, holy is the Lord, you know, kind of thing. You know, but you make it so simple. This is your house here, and people walk around the place. You know, there's nothing, you know, nothing hidden, nothing, you know. I mean, it's just that environment of peace, that environment of godliness, that environment of love, that environment of fellowship. I'm seeing it here among your people everywhere I go, and you know, so it tells me something that this is the reason why God chose you. I am excited much more, you know, about the Nigerian mission. And I want to encourage every Nigerian that has been looking forward to seeing God do something in Nigeria. This is the time to tag on to this mission. I've already voted. I'm in. You know, I'm with you, seriously. You know, I told you that. Because Nigeria, God will bring smiles on the faces of Nigerians. You know, and the thing is that
you have been in service. Go ahead.
Yes.
You've been in America for how many years?
I've been in America for, are you ready for this? I've been in America for over 30 years. I came to America as a teenager. I came in and I went directly to the university. I studied at the University of Washington, D.C.
Do you want to tell me that if I move to Nigeria, you'll be ready to pack your load from America and move with me?
Pastor, I'm already there. You know, I'm
because
already there. I'm already there.
They are thinking, how can I move after 30 years?
Yes.
You know, some people are even thinking, I move after 10 years or 5 years. But you ready to move after 30 years.
Yes, Pastor, let me tell you this. This is exciting. Number one is that when God is speaking, you don't need to look back, because if you look back, you become like the wife of what's the name? The life of Lot. If you look back, you become like the wife of Lot. You don't look back. When God is calling, you stay on the move, because if God calls, He will equip. If God calls, He will provide. There's something God wants to do. And let me say this also, it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. Some people have been in America for 2 years. If they need to stay, they can stay. They've been in England for 2 years. If they need to stay, they can stay. I'm not talking about whoever is in England over there or in America, you know. But when you have that call of God and you see what God is about to do in this period that I call the Nehemiah, you know, period of your God, when you see that, there's no need to waste time. You know, America, let me talk a little bit about America for a second. America is a wonderful place, Pastor. America is a wonderful place. I mean, I feel at home in America. In fact, America is more home to me than Nigeria is. You know, the way the system is, the rule of law, it's not perfect, but it's wonderful. Protection. I mean, I could be driving in the middle of the night and my car breaks down. One phone call, within a few minutes, police is there, help is there. Even if a dog, let me tell you this, if a dog, you're walking your dog and your dog falls down, and gets sick or something, or get hit by a car, you have 4 ambulance, trucks. They would be there to resuscitate the dog. A dog, that's America. So America is wonderful in many ways. Whatever good thing you hear about America, it is true. But America is like what Pastor Tony Evans describes, Pastor Tony Evans of Urban Alternative in, I believe, in Texas. He talks about this and he said sometimes we are in the comfort zone where we are being cooked, by the environment and not know that we are dying. He said, in Baltimore, we have crabs. He said, when you want to cook crabs, you put the pot with water, cold water, on the fire. And then you put the crabs in while the water is still cold. And the crabs, they are relaxed. It gets a little warm. They say, aha, this is so nice and comfortable. But what they do not know is that there's heavy fire from underneath. And before they know it, the water starts to boil and they cannot get out and they're cooked inside there. He said this is what is happening to a lot of, in fact, he was talking about blacks in America. This is what happened, not just black Americans, African Americans, but also to Africans that are there. We get there, we get comfortable with the onions and the garlic, I don't know, I'll be careful how I talk here, of the American society. Things are just there, they're ready. And we forget that for some of us, there's a reason God sent us to America and to Europe, is that we will go and become equipped so we can come back and repair the walls of Nigeria or the country that we come from in Africa. And so these things got me excited, and I said, I have to come and see this man of God. God has proven through you what he can do with one man. And I had to come and see it and experience it. And really, in these past few days, it has been phenomenal. In fact, I've not been able to sleep. The vision, is so heavy in my head. I've not been able to get sleep. I don't know. I had to take my glasses off here, and so maybe if somebody sees my eyes, they might be a little bit red. But I've not been able to sleep because the vision is it is phenomenal, and the weight of what God is about to do, I feel it so intensively, that I'm not even able to sleep very well. So I thank God for this. And I want Nigerians who are listening to know that there is hope. And I believe that in a matter of just a few years, God is going to do something. And this is another wonderful thing about it, that it's not that we're going to go and take over the house of not that. Not that. Jesus will say, remember the poor among you. And the problem of Nigeria has been, the disparity between the rich and the poor. There's such a huge gap. The rich are very wealthy. I'm talking about people that have their own private jets, and then the poor are so poor, abject poverty. Something is not right. Yet in a country that God had blessed immensely with everything. So when you showed me the plan, I was excited. It's starting with the people, because that's what worked here. You invested in the people. In fact, your story says that, I was reading your book, I believe you said 200. When God made you a millionaire, financially, you reached out to 200 people. You said, no, it cannot just be me. About 200 people, you took them along and made millionaires out of them as well.
US dollars, yeah.
In US dollars. We're not talking about Nigerian Naira millionaires. US dollars, And I was here last night, I got so excited. I had to give the lady and her daughter a hug, and the other lady that came with her. They came here to testify that through reading your book and the encouragement they got from that woman had 8 children at the age of 44. And she said your book encouraged her, that she went ahead and, went to improve herself educationally, getting a PhD with 8 children and an unbelieving husband. This was like last night that this was recorded. And, not only did God prosper her, not only educational, but she became a social activist, working with the government as well as a government liaison of sort, and have her own business with about 500 people working for her. And she was just saying all that came through the encouragement she got from reading your book. So there's something, that anointing that is there to encourage people to move out of their comfort zone, to fulfill and maximize. And in fact, what did you call it? You called it, you called it a good investment of time. No, that's a terminology you use. Conversion. We need to use that. Conversion of time. She converted her time so well that even her daughter that was here, 21 years of age, has started working at the age of 18. Not just work, but was diligent from reading your book. What is the title of the book she read? Somebody was here last night.
From Gardener to President.
From Gardener to President. She said she read that whole book and it encouraged her, and she took it practically and became so good in just car washing in a business that they had to fire the general manager to make an 18-year-old or 19-year-old the general manager of the company. And from there, she made enough money to pay for her college, so that her mother did not have to worry about it. And the woman did not have to wait and say, my husband must help me. She took the principles. I think that's the key. The principles she got from your book is what she took with her, trusting God, and great result. And even her son, this was another interesting part. Those who were not here last night to hear or didn't see the podcast should, go back and listen to it. Then her son, who was somewhat wayward, stubborn, rebellious in some ways, that she didn't give up hope, and that somehow the son from somewhat happened to the sister. How she read your book. And this is what's happened to her. She's having money right now. She's, and all that. And he also read the book and was able to invest himself, maximize himself to convert, time conversion. Also, the principle that he became an expert in what he was doing in physical, physical. I guess he gets some kind of physical prowess, in what he was doing, better than the other people. That is now part of the presidential team of security, and so the other ones too want to copy. Out of 8 children, she said nobody's lacking, so this is something we needed in Nigeria, because our pastors do wonderfully. Some of them do good magic for us. No, okay, I don't want to insult our pastors. Miracles. I'm sorry, I meant miracles, not magic. Hey, God help me. God help Pastor Obi. But some of them do wonderful things for us. They're there for us, and so on. But we needed this. And I don't want to I want to be careful, because many of our pastors have done wonderfully. But we need this, we need this new anointing of leadership that will encourage people to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. And this is what will make Nigeria work. Let people stop looking at the government. The government doesn't have to do everything for everybody. But everybody has a measure of gift that God has given them, to be able to do something for themselves. And this is why your teachings are very important. I started listening to your teachings, and there's no day that passes that I would not at least listen to at least 1 hour of your teaching. On the way to work, put in my earpiece. Where is my earpiece? Somewhere here. I put it in and just let it play. And I'm a Bible student. I've been a Bible teacher. I've started a Bible school some years ago. I was an instructor in a Bible school and all that. I went to Regent. I have my master's in theology. But Pastor, I needed to hear your teaching. It revived me. Those who know me, you can hear now that I'm talking as with the excess of excitement. That's because something is happening. We need this. And there was one thing I should mention this. In your book, Church Shift, you said that the revolution came not because the church was praying so much. You said the church had prayed and prayed and prayed, and one day you were in your privacy talking to the Lord, solitude, and the Lord said to you, stop the prayer. It's time for action. The Nigerian church prays even more than angels. If you want to know prayer, come to Nigerians. They will pray until the devil runs, until the devil is shaking. I'm serious. They will pray and praise. That's the Nigerian church. But the truth of the same principle that brought a revolution in Ukraine will also bring a revolution in Nigeria, which is this. It's time to stop praying. And it doesn't sound conventional. It's time to stop praying and start acting. And what is that acting? It's to start investing in the ordinary people in Nigeria. When the poor can have their daily meal and have something to look forward to, Nigeria will begin to change. When we begin to fill that gap of disparity between the rich and the poor, Nigeria will begin to change. The economy will begin to change. There are people, young Nigerians, who are perishing, along the, trying to get from Nigeria to Europe. They go through the desert. What is the Libya? Through Libya. Some of them just die on the way from hunger, from thirst, in the desert. Trying to get over, they want to cross over Libya and cross over, take a boat to get over the Mediterranean so they can get into Italy and other parts of Europe. And that way, they want to escape the poverty in Nigeria, and the destruction, that's going on there. But along the way, they die and they are destroyed. But these things have to stop, because if Nigeria becomes economically okay, because we're starting from the grassroots, men can feed their families. Men can marry in the right age. Women do not have to enter into prostitution and things of that nature. Criminal behavior and activities will reduce. And Nigeria will be a better country where Nigerians do not have to risk their lives going to other places. They will stay in Nigeria and do well. Nigeria is a wonderful country. It's a wonderful country. Pastor, so I'm excited. I want other people to also come.
You mentioned this book, Short Shift.
Yes.
So, this book is also available on Amazon for people who have not read it, just like the Nigerian book as well, and on Okada Books, I think. So now, but you said you are listening to my message every day.
Every day.
At least 1 hour.
At least 1 hour. At least 1 hour. On my way to work, I have about an hour window. On my way to work, I listen. Sometimes on my way back also, I can go back and pick it up, because somebody, Dr. Ladi Shorunke and my sister, their sister Lola, the wife, Shorunke, they will send me the link, or they send me a share, if I'm not available by the time you're broadcasting live. So on my way to work, on the way back from work too, I will listen. I would actually, when I get home, if it's not done, I would actually sit down and listen to all of it. And it has been very encouraging. Like I'm telling you, those who know me they will see a little twinkle in my eye, in these few days, because you revived me. Your ministry revived me. Not just that I came to see it, but already from reading your books. And this is why I believe that you're a man for our time. And I'm trying my best not to give personal credit to you, because people who haven't met you may not understand that you're a man of humility, great humility. That's what I experience here, and but your books are life-changing. When I read Church Shift, it was several years ago. You came to do an interview with
in Washington
D.C. with Don Crow,
yeah.
A man of God, a good friend of mine,
and
a journalist. Is a WAVA. He's loved among Africans. There he has a ministry called Reach Africa Now, and you came to do that interview with him. This is a man that interviews presidents and people in the Christian community and in the political world. And you did that interview. When I listened to that interview, I said, I need to meet this man. I need to meet this man that God is using like this. You've spoken, I believe, at United Nations. You've addressed the assembly there, United Nations. And I said, I need to meet this man that God is using. But at that time, I wondered, I said, how come God is not using this man in Nigeria? Nigeria is in a rut, politically. So I wondered, I said, why? How come God is not using this man? But now I can see that everything has its time, and the time has come.
Maybe I needed the pedigree here before going to Nigeria. Maybe God wanted to give the reputation.
Probably. But the other exciting thing, I think you've already told them, that there are Ukrainians who are ready to go with him to Nigeria. And I've met some of these people. They are incredible. They're incredible. I started speaking by saying, no man after the flesh, but after the spirit. I've known some of them that I've met after the spirit. What I feel in my spirit concerning them. Spirit of excellence, spirit of love, spirit of peace. I will be so glad. Let them bring that along. Let the transformation that happened in Ukraine, let it happen in Nigeria. And it's for everybody's good. And I continue to repeat this, I've not heard from you saying, you know, we're going to do this and get some guns and things and go to Aso Rock and take over. You didn't say that, because that's not what it is. You know, God wins not through conventional means. God wins, you know, in other ways. Through love, through peace, through education, which is what you're doing, through encouragement, the Barnabas spirit. And that's what I've seen, and I believe it's going to work. I'm signed up to it, and I ask other Nigerians, please, get up, sign up, get ready. God can do it. If you are in that group that God is calling, get ready. God can do it. I'm excited about that.
Since you are very excited about Nigeria,
Yes.
I was able to, you were private to some information that I just showed you, little information, but you quickly got it, so I didn't even need to go through the whole thing for you. Because you got it. So what will you think about, because people hear me say, normally I don't show people who plan. I'm just talking, telling people that things will happen in Nigeria, so they don't see any basis.
Yes, yes.
But from what you have seen these few days, or what you have sensed, or what you have witnessed, because somebody actually said, who is a very good person and very good friend, really.
Yes.
He says he doesn't know me, but we have become good friends, but he has not met me and he has not come to see, but he just hear me speak about Nigeria.
Yes.
He said, Pastor Sunday, you are so confident, almost to the point of delusion and arrogance.
Okay.
Because what are you basing your confidence on? Just by saying God, other people are having God over there, they are praying.
Yes.
And you know, so, you know, from little that you have said,
yes,
because they think that there are no basis. Show me the statistics, show me the papers, show me the something. You know, but I cannot do that. How can I do that? Unless you have to come here to sit with me, but you are here. Yes. Is there any improvement? Is there, you are better. You should have better grasp of what that is. This not just some vision or by faith, you know, the way Christians. Because he was thinking that since I'm a pastor, that this is just one of those faith talk.
Okay.
You know, people do things by faith. They do. What do you say about what you have for this?
Well, let me dispel such a notion. You know, well, that person doesn't necessarily have to come here. Like I've mentioned a number of things that gave me the conviction to make me jump in the plane to want to come here and to tag on to the vision for Nigeria, for example. One, they say, sometimes Paul will say, you know, show me your faith and I will show you my faith by my works. You know, anybody who has read Church Shift or who has visited this country or who has, that's Ukraine, or who has read some of the things that are written about you by the mayor, by the former president of Ukraine, by individuals in public office, you know, talking about the contribution that you made in their society. That person will begin to get a picture of what God can do. Anybody who has read your history and see where you came from. That's why I said, you know, it started out as David. That's what God showed me. And then into the Joseph anointing. And now you're entering the Nehemiah era, you know, of your calling. You know, those who have read Church Shift or should go read Church Shift will see what God did and know that if God did it before, he would do it again. And they will see, you know, how the movement is going. And again, it comes out of simplicity. Because the Bible said that God uses the foolish things.
Yeah, the foolish thing to confound.
To confound the wise. Nigeria is waiting for this huge political leader that will come and have everything, maybe the riches, you know, whatever, and then just carry Nigeria. You know, they thought Goodluck Jonathan would do that. He's a man, you know, and he just like us. And, you know, that didn't happen, and they thought it was this other person. Some thought, okay, somebody's going to come who is a military leader. And, you know, Nigeria had tried all that. It didn't work. But God uses the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. And God decided that he would use a man with the spirit of David, you know, or the anointing that was on David. And now, in this present time, you know, the Nehemiah anointing to bring salvation to Nigeria. And again, you know, I keep saying this, that it's not with guns and weapons of warfare that is conventional that we're familiar with, but it is with the Spirit of God. And this is, I believe this is where your confidence comes. And this is where my confidence comes too, in sitting here and talking with you and talking to whoever is listening, you know, to say this is real. It's not a joke. You know, if we remember the word of the Lord, it said, remember the poor among you. In this country, those who have not read your book, you came here, you didn't go for the rich. You went for those who are downtrodden, the prostitutes, the drug addicts, the alcoholics, those coming out of prison. You reached out to them with the love of God. Transformation came. You encouraged them to know who God says they are. And with that transformation came the growth of the church. Some might wonder, how did the church grow to 35,000 members? There's no magic in it. When you do what God says, the people know love. They understand love. They can feel love. They can experience love. They can experience, and then growth comes as a result. That's what it is. And I believe that it is the same thing that's going to bring this thing to be accomplished in Nigeria. That's where the confidence comes from. I'm confident, in Christ in you, in the Spirit of God in you. And this is why I'm following you. I don't follow people very easily. I'm not one of those that follow leaders. Those who know me, I know somebody now, is saying, yeah, I know him. I don't quickly just follow leaders, but I look for the Spirit of God in a person. I look for the spirit of excellence. I look for, the heart of the person. And when I see those things that is all coming from God, I follow very easily, because I know that if God is there, things would work. If God is there, the environment will produce. And your teachings are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. Just whoever does, let them read the book. Let them read the book. It's a gift that God has given you. We need this gift, and that's all it is. I don't know. Is your airplane parked, your jet plane, is it parked around the corner? Because I've not seen it, Because I think if anybody should have some jet planes parked around, you should have about 3 or 4 of them. But I've not seen one. Instead, you invested yourself in the lives of people. And you're not poor. You're not a poor man. Maybe you're poor in spirit according to the Bible, but but you're not poor, a poor man in the sense that you can't feed yourself, but you poured yourself out to people, and this is what is needed. In Nigeria, there are very many wealthy people. But I saw wealthy people living in huge mansions that the road that leads to their houses has a lot of potholes. But the rich people can get in there because they can drive their expensive Jeep, and just roll right in there, and then the gate closes and the security people, close the gate, and they feel safe in that place. But the poor people are out there suffering. And sometimes I wonder, how come these rich people cannot make some investment of their money to even fix the road? Accidents are happening in local roads and the highways because the roads are bad. Why? Somebody who is in position that received the allocation to fix the roads has put it in his private pocket, and shared it with his family. And then they come to America and England and Europe, Switzerland, put their money there and buy huge mansions over there and go on vacation, and the people are suffering. These are some of the things that will be corrected, in Nigeria. When people begin to feel the Spirit of God and understand the principles of life that God has given us, a change will come. I look forward to seeing that change come. I mentioned that to you also at one point concerning one of the issues or some of the issues that I saw in Nigeria that I feel change needs to happen in. I've lived in America all these years. There's so many wonderful things about America. I love America, to tell you the truth. I've been a citizen now for some years, and I love the country. I've lived there for a long time. There are some things that they practice that we need to copy some of that we see also happen in Europe. We need to copy some of that. Like, there's this thing about mediocrity in Nigeria. Everything that is breaking down, you say, why can't we fix it? They say it's okay. It's okay. You see a vehicle that the tail lights are missing, and it's going to be driving in the night. And, it's easy to have accident with that because the car is driving at night and there are no tail lights. So you don't even know it's a car, or you see a vehicle coming in front of you in the dark and it's only one light. You might even think it's a motorcycle, but it's a full car, all these things. And I ask them when I go to Nigeria, I say, why can't we fix this? Why can't we put the light on? And, why can't we fix those lenses? And they say, it's okay. It's okay. All you Americans, it's okay. That's how we drive it. It works. That is the spirit of mediocrity, and that's one of the, it's not proper. So why can't we get things done right? This is a small country compared to America. That's Ukraine here. But I've been around, and I also saw that spirit of excellence. I only saw one vehicle that had smoke when it passed. One vehicle alone, only one, and I've been here for 3 days now. one vehicle that I saw. I've been in the village and I've been in the city, you know, and I kind of like that everything looks clean all around. Maybe there's a dirty part of the town. I've not seen it yet. But there's something that has happened in this nation, which we also need in Nigeria, so that the spirit of mediocrity, you know, has to go. It has to depart. And then we have a very strong spirit of competition. I don't see too much competition in America because everybody has something they can go to. When you talk about job, in fact, the worst case, go to McDonald's and get a job and get paid minimum wage, you know. But in Nigeria, there are people that, you know, you have 5 people working on a job that requires even half a person if we can away, because we don't have the jobs, you know. And so the income for one person will be shared among 5. Those things need to change. Nigerians are very industrious people. In Aba, in Owerri, I bought a belt, I bought some shoes. They look wonderful. They look better than the ones made in Italy. But I could only wear those things for about 2 months before they begin to peel off. You know, mediocrity. Why is it like that? And it's made right there in Nigeria. Wonderful looking shoes. So why could you not use the good material and make it right? Why could you not put a second layer of thread around it to make it solid? Why do you have to make it so cheap? You know, and so there's that deception and that spirit of mediocrity. Those things need to change in Nigeria. And I believe it can happen when people begin to read your books, when people begin to pick up on the principles, when people begin to redeem the time, you know, and so on and so forth. I believe I look forward to it.
When those people who are going with me to Nigeria, what I tell them is that they all must have a plan in their mind of what they wish to do when they get there. Mm-hmm. So you are moving back to Nigeria after living over 30 years in America.
Yes.
And do you have a picture? Because that's one of the things we discussed. And we discussed it before you came. We discussed it on Skype. We discussed it when we were here. That you must have a plan of what you are coming to Africa to do, to Nigeria to do. What do you want to improve? What do you want to contribute? And this is concerning not just Nigerians that are watching, but also people from everywhere. So, you know, I want you to tell the people so that they will know that you are not just saying, "Oh, I'm going by emotion with Pastor Sunday to Nigeria," but that you've actually worked on it. You are thinking about it, and you have definite and concrete things that you wish to do and contribute when you go as you go with me to Africa.
They say, how does the saying go? They say, to change a society, you need to change the people. To change the people, you need to change a person. You start from a person, and you change a person to a people, then you change the society. You know, and positive change that I'm talking about. Individuals, well, you have 2 individuals, husband and wife, that make, they become married. From there, they have children. They make a family. From the family, you have a community, or families, you have communities. From communities, you have towns and villages and cities, and then a state. From states, you have a country. And from countries, we have the world. Now, what is happening is that individuals have serious issues, like in Nigeria. We're talking about Nigeria now, and Africa also, that when a man is not able to provide for his family, there's not much he can do. He's dejected, you know, and negativity overwhelms him, and they just give up. You know, when a man is not able to pay for his children to go to school, then they are not able to get the education that they need. So they end up being, when they have the brain to study, they end up just doing menial things. And it continues like that for generations. So when we talk about generational curses, that's really one of them. Now, I am not all excited so I can just go back. You know, really, I could go back to Nigeria and be okay and just, you know, be there. I think I'm okay enough to do that. But that's not what it is. My excitement and my plan is to go and educate. Is one of the things that I want to do, to educate. And this is why I keep saying that I love your books, because it educates, and it's very simple and very practical, you know. Number 2, I want to be able to encourage, you know. Well, let's go back to education. When it comes to the educational aspect, I'll give you one example, maybe 2. For example, I used to be a driving instructor in the US. I was licensed a driving instructor, and I used to be overwhelmed by the amount of materials that we had to teach as a driving instructor for someone to drive a car. And I said, is it not just to get in there and drive the thing? But there was so much to teach, because the person who drives, you must have basic knowledge and understanding of what it means to drive a vehicle. First of all, you're driving a 3,500 pounds to 4,000 pounds of what we call a weapon. People don't know that a vehicle is a weapon. It has more power than even a gun. A gun, one bullet comes out, right, and it can kill a person. But a car, 3,500 pounds at 60 miles per hour, if it runs into a crowd, it's going to kill about 10 at a time or more. You understand? And people operate it as if it's a toy. It's not a toy. So we need education in that sense. People drive cars in Nigeria. I saw one vehicle. It's a transportation car operated by a state. And I entered that vehicle, taking me from one part of the state to another part. And I looked around, I looked at the tires. At least 2 of the tires were bald, with their thread showing, it's not good, they're not good tires. And then I asked the driver, I said, why are these tires bald? He said, oh God, that's so now. And I saw, now so, he good. I said, how can it be good? This is a transportation vehicle that is run by the state. Why doesn't it have good tires? That was not all. I got in the vehicle anyway because I had to get to where I was going to. And I looked at the fuel gauge. And the fuel gauge was on 0. So I thought, okay, maybe the fuel gauge is broken. That's typical in Nigeria, and they decide not to repair it. I was wrong. The man had driven for maybe 20 miles or so before he went into a fuel station to get some fuel. And I was surprised because I was sitting up front, and I said, you mean we've been driving on fumes for this long? I said, do you understand? When I do these things, usually people with me say, leave, that's how Nigeria is. And I said, no, I got to speak. I said, do you understand that if we had an emergency, assuming armed robbers began to chase us, you would not be able to run anywhere. The car would be stuck and they would kill all of us. One. Because a transportation vehicle is supposed to have at least half a tank of fuel before you take off, if not, a complete tank of fuel. I said, number 2, do you know that when your fuel is almost to the bottom, at the bottom there, that it overworks your fuel pump? And if that fuel pump goes bad, it costs a whole lot of money to replace it. I said, did you know that? He was looking at me. He was bewildered. He didn't understand. I said, that's not good. And also when you let it go down to the bottom, your fuel thing goes down to the bottom, it picks up all those little particles, dirt from the bottom of the fuel tank, and it puts it into your fuel system, and that can cause the car, to begin to operate in a way that's not proper. He didn't know that. And this is a man driving a vehicle for a state.
And getting salary for it.
And getting salary for it. I was educating him. We needed this. They come around with the vehicles and they're pressing on the accelerator. Vroom, 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 vroom. I said, do you know when you're doing that, you are rattling some of the, elements, particles in the engine, in the engine compartment, that over a period of time, they begin to fall apart. And this is why cars do not do well in Nigeria. We have cars, when you drive your car in America and you maintain it, on a regular basis, you could drive that car. We have cars that are 30 years old and still looking wonderful. It doesn't happen in Nigeria. Lack of education. So we need that kind of education, in Nigeria. That's just one aspect. The other
example.
An example. Let me see which other example I can pick up on right now. Let's even go to family. Let's go to family. I mentioned family earlier. I was being told a story. This is kind of comical, but it's not really supposed to be funny. And we're having a conversation, and while I was in Nigeria some time ago, and the lady said that told a story of a woman that was being beaten by her husband, and he said the woman went to the police to report, and the police told her, said, so he beat you. He said, I said, what did you say to him? He said, I can see the way you're talking. You are running your mouth. He said, go back and apologize to him. And that was the solution.
I even heard that pastors who said that too. I heard that even pastors who give that kind of advice as well.
Yes, because that is the culture.
They don't protect the lady.
Yes.
The pastors could actually tell the lady, go back and apologize.
Go back and apologize. So the women live in I call it, what's the term?
Subjection.
So yeah, they're subjected,
Oppressed.
to that kind of oppression. So we need to teach people the true love of God, husband and wife. Do you know that Nigerian men, the majority, maybe this new generation they're changing, but the older generation, you would not find a man holding hands with his wife because it doesn't look right in the society. Because they say, "What do you hold a hand for?" So and talking to your wife in public, are you out of your mind? So these are areas that we have to educate. And the church is the one that will bring these things in. You understand? I hope nobody's misunderstanding me. I didn't say why should sell their husbands and it should be that way kind of thing. No. There's when we follow the Bible, there's a place for everybody, for the wife, for the husband. But love must rule above everything. So these are the things we need to change about the culture. There are wonderful things about the Nigerian culture that I love. Wonderful, and those ones we're going to keep. The culture of respect, like in Yoruba land, I love it. Young people respect elders, unlike in America, where unfortunately it's not there. I remember one time. Let me just share this as well. I went to a car auction in America, and this man, who's an uncle to two young ladies, brought them there to buy a vehicle for them. They are Yorubas, and the man bought he paid.
That's in Nigeria?
No, this happened in America.
Okay.
In America, auto auction car auction in America. And so, I was watching them, and the man was bidding on a car for them and bought the car for them, paid for it, and they came outside to look at the car. And these two girls, right on that dirt floor, both of them got on their knees.
In America?
To say thank you to the man. And Americans are looking at, what are you doing on the floor? What's going on with you? Why these girls got to get on the floor like that? Because they do not understand our culture. That is that culture of respect.
Honor.
And honor. They honor their uncle who just bought a vehicle for them. So those things are like, those ones we retain. But where we have not done well, we will change, and, it's through the spirit of love, the spirit of understanding, biblical principles, for daily living. So these are things that I look forward to. Now, let's go to the financial, the economic. Nigeria is suffering economically, not with the rich, but with the poor. And by the way, Pastor, do you know that I've hardly heard about the middle class in Nigeria?
Yeah.
I've hardly heard about the middle class. In America, there's a middle class. In fact, it's the middle class in every society that drives the society. Because those are people that are likely to pay, taxes.
Taxes, yeah.
Those are the people that are likely to buy houses and live in them and pay for their houses for 30 years or more, and so on. So they drive the economy. They drive the society, the middle class. I hardly heard about the middle class in Nigeria. You're either up there or you're down there, down on the other side. And then those that are down, they will do just about anything to get up there, whatever it takes, including pastors. I'm telling you the truth now, that I heard, I saw, I experienced, including pastors who have had to go to witch doctors to receive powers to do ministry. I am not kidding
they could
you.
Be up there as well.
They could be up there, and they make it in a short time. I'm not kidding you. All in an effort to escape, the economic problems in Nigeria. But Nigerians are resilient. They're hardworking people. What I say, for example, we went to a lady who used to sell rice. She sells rice, and fufu in a motor park, and let's say she makes the equivalent of, I want to say $10 a day, okay? And that's, and she's diligent, and she has clients, but, the amount they pay for a plate of rice is so small. So she came for prayer in a seminar that I was doing. I told her, I said, we can change that. Why do you have to only sell this amount? Why are you making only this amount of money? And second of all her money she put in her wrapper, and I asked her, why don't you go to the bank and put your money? She said, I don't know how to do that one. And all her money is here. So people come to borrow from her, she will just get it out and give to them. And when her business failed because the park was closed, she couldn't get her money back from those people, and she had nothing. So she's not coming to me because I came from America to give her money, you know. And so I told her, I said, you know something, we're going to revive, you know, or revitalize your business. Instead of about $10 a day, your business should be making about $1,000 or more a day, equivalent. How are we going to do that? Madam, you will not just be sitting in the corner with your chair and using the wood to cook your food right there. We're going to change the equipment you use to make your food. Number two, we're going to find you a place, a proper restaurant place. And we're going to do chairs and all that. So I gave her this wonderful plan. I said, but above that, even at your level, because she's a village woman, you will have to receive education to gain basic economic acumen or business acumen, to know how to run your business, know how much you make per day, know how to invest, know how to increase your investment, and so on and so forth. You know, and when I told her this, she was very excited about that. You know, so there are many more like that who are doing little, but if they can be encouraged a little bit and given a little help, maybe through the microfinance aspect, they will do a whole lot better. And when the people in the village begin to do well, the people in the city will also do well economically. Then it goes to the people in the states and then the people in the country. Nigeria will be a better country because it's going to start from the ground going up. We are going to have a middle class. I really believe that. And nobody has to run for office. You don't have to be a senator or a member of the House of Assembly to do that, you know. So this is why I'm excited about this. So I'm ready, I'm prepared. Even if I'm taking $10,000 to Nigeria, I'm very sure that I can, you know, change that money around with what I see there, you know, in a short time. And be able to not just have something for myself, but also to employ people and teach them through the principles we read in these books, you know, how to maximize and convert their time, you know, to improve themselves economically. So I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
Now, I want to go with so many skilled people, and maybe even unskilled people, but people who know how to do something and teach other people.
Yes.
I want to be able to create the environment that will make it easier for Nigerians in diaspora to also go back. Because they have seen how things are done overseas.
Yes.
And they could come with those things and contribute. And also, I want to go back with people from other countries, Americans, Europeans, Asians, to go and just offer. Do you think people who are living in the West, America, Europe, even here or anywhere, that anybody could really, but that the needs of Nigeria, because the way I say it is that Nigeria has so much need that no matter what you are skillful in, anything will go in Nigeria. Well, how do you see that? Do you think people might be saying, thinking I don't have anything to offer? But I think that if you're already living here in Europe, you're already seeing so many good things that you can do.
Yes. I really believe that. You know, if I go back to Nigeria and I take with me the spirit of, should I call it American excellence? You know, having the spirit of God in me and understanding biblical principles and some business principles that I picked up, you know, while living in this country. If I take it back to Nigeria, that I can create a transformation where I am, you know, and it can be replicated or duplicated. I think that's a better word, to duplicate it, you know, to multiply it rather is a better word. It can be multiplied. Now, I said earlier that Nigerians are very resilient people. I saw them. Pastor, when you see somebody selling peanuts, a young boy or young girl, a teenager selling peanuts, they carry it on their head. And they come out every day. I don't know how many hours they spend. And as cars stop and vehicles stop along the way, they sell to those people. And you see them running after the vehicle to get their money. That shows something. That shows diligence. Because if you pass by there every time, you see them at the same time, you see them at the same hours, and you see them trying to sell that small business. So if somebody has that kind of energy, you know, and diligence, all they need is just a little help, you know, to increase it. You know, they can do it. It can be done. In every arena, even in technology. You know, I came here and for the first time I saw a ministry place where there are no pens or pencils.
Nobody uses pen. Nobody. that is very interesting to people coming to Ukraine. People in Ukraine, in our embassy of God at least, our people have been so trained and raised up that maybe in the world, not in the church, but people in the church world, nobody uses pen anymore. Nobody uses paper. We don't use paper or pen anymore. Everybody uses computer, smartphones, iPads, and technology. Just technology all the way. Nobody uses pen. In fact, I don't even know how to write with pen anymore or how to use paper. We don't even see paper here. So, you discovered it.
Yes, I discovered, and that's wonderful.
And you are coming from America. You still use paper in America.
That's my pen right here, Pastor. We still use paper and pen. But what I'm saying is that, in what part of what I believe is working for this country is that they are moving up technologically as well. Yeah. And Nigeria has a lot of technology. Some of the best brains in computer system, information system technology, they are in Nigeria. Innovative. So all of that is there. All of that is there. I hope I'm not beating around the question that you asked me, but the thing is that
do people, because a lot of people might be thinking they don't have anything to offer. I'm just here, a simple person living in America. Do you think everybody who has lived here with the experience they have can actually take something back? Because I think that the enormity of the problem in Nigeria demands all the help we could get.
Yes. I believe everyone, it should be, you always have the 1%, maybe there's that 1% or 2% that may not have anything to offer. But if you ask me, I would say everybody really who has lived in this developed world, should be able to have something to offer to Nigeria. You name that area. Let's talk about, how about the area of security and law enforcement? Okay, then, in Nigeria, the police will stop you, different places they will stop you to search you, to check you, and for the most part, it's to get a bribe. I'm sorry to say, but that's what I experienced. They need a bribe out of you, And one of the worst things I saw is police officers and, some soldiers also who are on those roadblocks carrying AK-47, okay? And they whip it around like this when they're talking to people. Oh yeah, get over there. Oh yeah, like this. And this is AK-47 that if it goes off, it's going to mow people down. And I wondered to myself, I say, which training did these people receive? Because I know Nigeria, military or police, I know they have good stuff, they should have good stuff. But I say, who trained this? Why do they like this discipline? Whereas in America, just to get a gun, in fact, let me be careful. Okay. To teach you how to, for you to be licensed to have a gun in America, it's a licensing process, in Washington area where I am, for you to have a gun, you have to go through some serious training, background check, and so on and so forth. You have to take so many, a number of classes to teach you, how to handle a gun. I remember in a line of work, I remember being taught to use a handgun. And I said 4 days, or is it 3 days to use it? I said, what is there? Just like in the driving. Is it not to take the thing and shoot? It was more than that, For you to use that weapon, they have to teach you the mechanics of the weapon. So you understand how it functions. You have to actually be able to take it apart and put it back together. And I know they do that in the military and all that. But that weapon, the instructor will say, before that weapon can come out of, the holster, he say, let it be that is absolutely necessary. You don't bring it out. It's not a toy you bring out and say, hey, like that. No, you don't do that. The first time you do that, in fact, in the training, the first day you point that weapon in the wrong direction, they send you out of the line. That's it. Go home. Why? Because it's a dangerous weapon that if you point it at somebody, it's likely to go off. If it goes off, somebody is going to die. So there's this discipline about such things that, we see all these things happening in America recently where people are being shot. And I can tell you this, that a good number of those were, really is racially motivated. Because if you look at the videos, some of those videos, not all of them, but some of them were racially motivated. And the police officers did not exercise their use of their weapon properly. They were either too quick to use it, or they used it inappropriately. But I saw in Nigeria where it was a reckless handling of the weapon. You know, there's need for education in that. They have people here who are in America and Europe, I believe, who have worked, especially in America, who have worked in the security sector, in law enforcement. We have police officers who are Nigerians, you know, in the metro area. And I'm very sure that if you allow them to teach some of those classes, we will have a change even in that area. You talk about bribery and corruption. Oh my good Lord, I felt ashamed for a police officer begging me for money when I was in Nigeria the last time. I was ashamed. I said, is it really that bad? And it's not because his salary is not that much as it is the culture. It's a culture of bribery. You know, you got to give them something. I said, but why? You check my particulars and everything is in order. Why do I have to spend? But now you have in America law enforcement officers who are very proud of what they do. And if you try to bribe a police officer, as far as I know, like let's say in our community over there in Washington, D.C. area, they will actually lock you up. They will charge you. It's an offense to bribe a police officer. Why would you want to bribe him? You know, you're insulting his profession. You know, so things like that we have people in America who can go back and teach those things. This is how the society is going to be changed. From the ground up. From the ground up, you know, so in those sectors. How about nursing? You know, we have many nurses, Nigerians in America, you know, who have learned the profession and are very good at it, who can go home and be able to teach people. And again, I'm not downplaying those nurses who are already there in Nigeria. They're doing wonderfully, you know, with the little thing that they have to, you know, to work with. But there's another level of excellence, you know, in American medical care system that we can also transport back there and teach people. Then people have things to offer in many areas, even in ministry, pastor, in ministry as well, church ministry. You say, Nigerian pastors, are they not the best? Yeah, so they can preach, they can pray. But there's still a level of excellence that we need. And again, I say this carefully because I don't want to put anybody down. After all, I'm a Nigerian and I'm a minister, ordained minister of God as well. But there's a level of excellence we need to operate in, you know. And I believe that, yes, we do have something that we can take back to help the Nigerian society become better. Yes, we do.
Thank you so much. Now, our time is up. But before we go, I'll just ask you one or two more questions. You left a lot of things to just come to be here for a few days.
Yes.
Has it been worth it?
Oh, more than that. Oh my goodness, more than that. I mean, with the excitement that I speak with, can't you tell? And anybody who knows me that's listening to this, you know, they will also see that excitement. I'm excited because you revived me. It's like, what I saw here has revived me. It's like, you know, you're making bread, you know, until you put I believe it's the yeast, you know, and then before you see the bread, you know, rise up. So it's like I've received the yeast, you know, by coming here, you know, and I wanted to see what happened here. I wanted to see the man that God used, you know, and I'm seeing God, you know, I'm seeing you, of course, you're a representative of God, but I'm seeing God in you and what God did here. I'm seeing the environment, and I like what I see, and it has gotten me excited to the point that I'm ready. Like I told you, I'm ready to go to Nigeria. Let's make that change happen to God's glory. You know, we didn't talk, I know we're about to end, but we didn't talk about the religious aspect. All that nonsense of people, you know, extremist religious stuff, all that stuff got to stop. I believe when we bring in the spirit of love for everybody, no hate, nobody has to kill anybody. I believe when that spirit comes in, that love, you know, will grow. You know, that love will take care of those things. You know, all that nonsense, though, it has to stop. Nobody needs to kill anybody. The Christian religion teaches love. You give them the word. It says, let him who believes come along. You know, and I'm paraphrasing. And the person doesn't want to believe, leave it up to them. You know, it's God who touches the people's heart to bring the change. We do not have to force anybody to be anything. And if we say Nigeria is one country, then let it be one country. Whereby, if your religion is this way and my religion is the other way, we're still in one country. Let us respect each other. Have your religion, there's nothing wrong with it. That's your religion, that's your religion. But nobody has to die because you are not in my religion. And we're not going to make some people feel less of God's creation than we are because of our religion. All that stuff we have to stop. And I believe that, you know, the Lord is going to make it happen with this move. I really believe that.
Many people are considering,
Yes.
maybe they have been watching this, and they are watching right now, and they are thinking, is it worth the cost? Because, you know, just like you made a lot of sacrifice to come just for a few days to Ukraine.
Yes.
And some of them are considering maybe to come in November, because we have that train in November from the 6th to the 12th, History Makers. And some people are just thinking, okay, this teaching that we have been receiving on daily basis, History Makers, and maybe the books and everything, can that really bring about some real change, not just in Nigeria, but even in their own lives? And talk less of coming all over here to see, is it all something that is worth doing?
Worth it. It will be worth it very much. I encourage. In fact, I've started talking to some of my friends, brothers and sisters in the Lord already about this. I had sent text yesterday, messenger to some, and I've gotten some people already excited. And I believe you're going to see some of them come here in November. It's a transforming change. There's a transformation that will happen, when one comes into this environment. But I ask them to start reading the book first. Begin to read the book. If the book doesn't convince you and get you excited, then don't come. But I believe it will, because the book is well written. It lays it out. And we didn't talk about prayer, because some people, somebody's going to say, all these things you people are talking about, I didn't hear about prayer. Maybe you were not listening. The person was not listening earlier when I said, when I talked about the revolution that, came to Ukraine, where God said to you, tell your members that no more prayer right now. It's time for action. There's time for everything. So it's not all about pray, but there's time, to act. And there are many people out there who have been praying, God, do this for me. God, do that for me. Oh, God, I want to do this. Oh, God, I want to do that. But nothing has happened. They've fasted. They've prayed. It's time to leave the prayer there. I mean, we don't stop praying anyway, because prayer is continuous. If you read in Luke 18, verse 1, I believe, prayer continues. But, however, leave that kind of prayer. Now it's time for action. And when you come to a place like this, you will be activated. Let me call it activated. And don't be selfish. This is another thing that's very important, because you, Pastor Sunday, you're not a selfish person. If you're a selfish person, I would not even be here. You're not a selfish person, but you're a selfless person in the Spirit of Christ. So let those people come here and get energized and activated. Even if it is for, to increase their family, to maximize their time, to convert their time, to bring their family up. That is okay too. But I wish they would have a global view, or a national view as to what God will use them to do, to reach out to other people. So it's going to be wonderful. Anybody that wants to come, please hurry up and come. And when you come here, you probably, sit right here and give testimony, and praise God.
Well, thank you so very much, and thank our time. Pastor Obi has to leave to the airport in a few minutes,
yes.
And our time is over here. And if you have not shared this link yet, everybody that is watching right now, please go share the link. Go look for your share button. Share that link, and we'll be back in the evening with some more wonderful stories and testimonies of how ordinary people are changing their world. Okay, then on Monday, I will continue my series on how to make the best of your life, how to make your life count. I think I will talk about the inventory on Monday. But what we'll see, I don't want to give any word right now so that it doesn't change again by Monday. So, but we'll see you tonight. See you tonight. God bless you guys. Bye.